Tensions flare over finance law amendment in Taiwan's legislature. Wen-je's associate may have fled to Vanuatu via Australia. Taipei delays demolition of Yiping Bridge amid protests. World's first wooden satellite heads to space. China race to solve ghost particles of the universe. China on track to record lowest number of new marriages. Indonesia's Laki-Laki volcano erupts. Lost Chopin waltz discovered in New York Museum.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Wednesday, November 6th, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan's news. In Taiwan's legislative yuan, heated disputes erupted during discussion on the Physical Revenue and Expenditure Allocation Act. Kuomintang legislators defending against potential disruption protected community convener Chen Yu-zhen, leading to confrontation with Democratic Progressive Party members. Xu Ziyu, a close associate of柯文哲, is suspected of fleeing to Vanuatu through Australia after being implicated in the Living Mall scandal. Evidence uncovered through handwriting analysis on torn papers suggested Ke instructed Xu to leave Taiwan, with the order documented on the second and third page of the notes. Taipei Mayor Jiang Wan-an has postponed the demolition of the Heping Bridge after public protests. He emphasized that the city's decision is based on traffic and public safety considerations, supporting the move to dismantle the bridge despite concerns, with plans for safer pedestrian measures to follow. And in global news, the world's first wooden satellite, built by Japanese researchers, was launched into space Tuesday in an early test of Timber's potential for lunar and Mars exploration. LignoSat, developed by Kyoto University and homebuilder Sumitomo Forestry, will be flown to the International Space Station on a SpaceX mission and later released into orbit about 250 miles above Earth. Named after the Latin word for wood, the palm-sized LignoSat is tasked with demonstrating the cosmic potential of renewable materials as humans pursue living in space.
Takao Doi, an astronaut who has flown on the space shuttle and studies human space activities at Kyoto University, said, "With timber, a material we can produce by ourselves, we will be able to build houses, live and work in space forever." With a 50-year plan of planting trees and building timber houses on the Moon and Mars, Doi's team decided to develop a NASA-certified wooden satellite to prove that wood is a space-grade material. A wooden satellite also minimizes environmental impact at the end of its life. Decommissioned satellites must re-enter the atmosphere to avoid becoming space debris. Conventional metal satellites create aluminum oxide particles during re-entry, but wooden ones would burn up with less pollution. LignoSat is made of hinoki, using a traditional Japanese crafts technique without screws or glue.
In a granite cabin deep beneath the forested hills of southern China, workers are nearing completion of a 600-ton sphere that could crack open some of the deepest mysteries of modern physics. This plexiglass sphere is the centerpiece of Jiangmen Underground Neutrino Observatory, a $300 million facility designed to measure neutrinos, the smallest subatomic particles known to physicists, sometimes called ghost particles. Neutrinos are invisible, nearly massless, and travel close to the speed of light. They exist in 3 mass stages, with the largest estimated to have 1/1,000,000th of the mass of an electron.
Neutrinos can pass through Earth and other matter without interacting, which largely explains why they have remained elusive to physicists. Understanding them could help unravel a puzzling imbalance at the heart of the Big Bang Theory. According to the standard model of physics, the event should have produced equal amounts of matter and antimatter. The goal of Juno and other neutrino observatories expected to come online in the coming years is to measure mass differences among neutrinos. However, because these particles are so small, achieving precise measurements is challenging. To minimize interference from cosmic rays, Juno has been built 2,300 feet below Earth's surface.
The number of new marriages recorded in China is on track to fall this year to the lowest levels since records began. as the country's demographic crisis deepens despite an extensive government campaign to promote marriage and encourage births. Declining marriages and birth rates pose a significant challenge to Beijing, which is increasingly concerned about the effects of a shrinking workforce and aging population on the country's slowing economy. A rebound in marriage last year after stringent COVID restrictions were lifted appeared to have been an anomaly, largely driven by pent-up demand.
Approximately 4.74 million Chinese couples registered their marriages in the first 3 quarters of 2024, a decrease of 16.6% from the 5.69 million recorded during the same period last year. This decline aligns with a downward trend from a peak of more than 13 million new marriages in 2013 and matches predictions by Chinese demographic experts that marriages in 2024 will fall below the record low of 6.83 million in 2022. China's population has decreased for 2 consecutive years, and its birth rate last year was the lowest since the founding of the People's Republic in 1949. To reverse the decline, Chinese officials have rolled out a raft of measures, from financial incentives to propaganda campaigns, to nudge young people to tie the knot and have children.
At least 9 people died after Mount Laki-Laki in eastern Indonesia erupted on Sunday, spewing explosive plumes of lava and prompting authorities to evacuate several nearby villages. The volcano erupted, releasing a fiery column of lava, volcanic ash, and incandescent rocks. A spokesperson for the Center of Volcanology and Geological Hazard Mitigation stated, after the eruption, there was a power outage, followed by rain and intense lightning, which caused panic amongst residents. The authorities has since raised the volcano alert status to the highest level.
Fiery lava and rocks struck settlements about 2 miles from the crater, burning and damaging residents' homes. A local official in East Flores reported that as of Monday morning, at least 9 people had died, and 7 villages had been affected by the eruption. He said, "We began evacuating residents this morning to other villages located about 13 miles from the crater. The nearest villages are covered in thick volcanic ash. Authorities are still collecting data on the number of evacuees and damaged buildings." Indonesia sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region of high seismic activity due to its location atop multiple tectonic plates. This eruption follows a series of others from different volcanoes across Indonesia.
A newly discovered piece of music, believed to be penned by Frédéric Chopin nearly 200 years ago, has been found in the vault of a New York museum. The previously unknown waltz was located at the Morgan Library and Museum and is dated to be between 1830 and 1835 on a card bearing the Polish composer's name. Curator Robinson McClellan found the piece while cataloging new collections. Initially uncertain if the music was truly Chopin's, he photographed the score and played it himself on his keyboard at home.
McClellan then working with a leading Chopin expert from the University of Pennsylvania to authenticate the score. Although it is not signed by Chopin, the penmanship matched that of the famous composer, including his distinctive bass clef and characteristic doodles. Chopin, who primarily wrote piano solos, was born near Warsaw in 1810 to a French father and a Polish mother. The museum believes the manuscript was written when he was in his early 20s. Experts estimate that Chopin composed around 28 waltzes before he died at the age of 39 in France in 1849. Despite this, only 8 waltzes were published during his lifetime, with another 9 published posthumously. The remaining works are believed to be lost or destroyed.
The answer for yesterday was A, solidarity. A strong sense of solidarity can help communities face challenges before a catastrophe strikes. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of China on track to record lowest number of new marriages. Number 1, extensive, 广泛的. The report provided extensive information on the environmental impact of the project. Number 2, demographic, 人口的,人口学的. The company conducted a demographic survey to better understand their target audience. Number 3, consecutive, 连续的. The team won 3 consecutive championships, setting a new record. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's it for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune into Funday news from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host. I'll see you next time.